Hi, we're Caroline and Ian, and along with our Bernese mountain dog Delilah, after 38 years of nursing, we decided to sell our house, give away our possessions and pursue a full-time van life in our 27-foot van, Frankie.
So we hope you enjoyed travelling with us as we learn how our Christian faith and van life work together on a wing and a prayer. Okay, so after not very good night's sleep in Silloth, we decided that we were only round the corner from the border, so we moved into Scotland, where we believed that it was going to be better for park-ups.
I decided as well that I just needed the stillness and just to see what the views were going to be like, and definitely try the Scottish food.
So let's see what happened.
Well, we have left Silloth and we are now in...
What kind of news?
We've reached Scotland. We're in Gretna Green and we've just been to the tourist centre, which is over there, and done some touristy bits. Woohoo! We're in Scotland! Happy Tuesday morning, everybody. So this is our first night in Scotland, and we managed to find this tiny little car park that's used for bird watchers. There's a big wet wildlife place down the road. I'm really glad we did park here because the wind got up a little bit last night, so it's very, very sheltered. We managed to park near to these silo things, and that kept the wind off us, so that was quite nice. It was cold last night though, really, really cold. For the first time in ages, I ended up with very, very cold feet, and I thought there was going to be thick frost this morning, but there isn't anything. It's just the wind, I think, that was so cold. I'm really glad that Ian slept last night. He's been struggling. I think the enormity of sleeping in a van and protecting us and all our properties in the van, and you know what might happen. He didn't tell me, but because I'd slept in Silloth, somebody was drunk and went past screaming and shouting and calling us gypsies because we were parked by the side of the road, and I think it's really unnerved him. So coming here to last night, sleeping in this really nice quiet spot, he managed to get 10 hours sleep. So I'm so pleased about that. We're ready to start our Scotland adventure. So here's to another day in the van. Good morning and happy Friday. Just thought I would show you where we've woken up this morning. It's in a place called Kilcudbright, and this is what the Scottish Motorhomes do over here, which is really good. So you can stay overnight. It's actually on a leisure centre. It's £4 if you're just staying over, or £10 if you want to use the electrics, which we did, so we could charge everything up. That's the leisure centre. And then the view this morning, we've got a children's park. This was the beautiful bit, and then looking out over onto the harbour, which is absolutely stunning. So this is Happy Friday, Scotland, Kilcudbright. So I said I would never do this and video the food, but last night when we were out walking and by the harbour, there was a man selling fresh fish. Well, I didn't buy the fresh fish, I bought kippers. So I've only ever had kippers that have been shrink wrapped from a bag in the supermarket that you have to boil in a bag. So I thought, well, what the heck, I'm going to try oak smoked local kippers for breakfast. Ian's very kindly let me do this because he cannot stand the smell of fish. So here we go, breakfast in the pan, and I'll show it you later. Okay, I don't think it smells any worse than smoky bacon. So this is it. We have lovely fried kippers and extractor pan. Things I like are history and local enterprise. So yesterday morning we had a knock on the door from a little old man who gave us a leaflet and asked us would we like to go on a history tour with him of the local area. And it was really good. It was £4 each, and I think it was well over an hour that he toured us round and had a chat with us. And some of the most interesting facts that I found were about Ailsa Crag. Now, he might have been telling us a load of rubbish, but I thought it was brilliant. So for any locals who say, no, that's not true, write it down in the comments. For everybody else, a little bit of history about Ailsa Crag. So the Ailsa Crag is the Gaelic word for the fairy rock, and it was actually a volcano, and it was a live volcano that erupted. And then as it cooled down, because of the cold winds coming in from the sea, it actually cooled down in two different temperatures, which meant that the rock formation also cooled down in different temperatures. Now, what they use the the rock for. It's called Blue Hone, and it's a granite, and there's 2 different stratas of it, and every 10 years they're allowed to go over and quarry it, and they use it for curling stones, and apparently it's the best curling stones that you can get. Another interesting fact was that a boat got stranded there, and while it was stranded there, rats jumped off the boat onto the island, and because there was no inhabitants, they were allowed to run free, and they ate the whole of the bird population. And it was such a problem, it actually went to Parliament of how they were going to sort this problem out. And so I think it was some university went over there and decided to help work out how they were going to kill the population. Didn't tell me how he killed them, but interestingly enough, he told me how they knew they'd all gone. So the way that they knew that all the rats had been exterminated was they got lollipop sticks, they put peanut butter on them and stuck them in the ground. I think he said there was something like 9,000 lollipop sticks all over the island, and they kept going back and checking them, and not one of them had been nibbled on. And then shortly after that, the birds started to come back, and it's now become a massive sanctuary for birds. And he then went through telling me of how many breeding pairs of which different birds they were. And then the final interesting bit, because I do like about natural things, people things, and that was that there was a manned lighthouse out on the island, and before they had the ability to telephone, if there was a problem, they would actually light fires at different areas of the island, and the fires in that area meant different things, like we've run out of food or different things. And there was one particular one that said we need a doctor, and one massive stormy night they lit the fire and obviously needed a doctor, and the local GP had to get in a boat through the storm. It took him 2 hours to get across there, and it's not particularly a big stretch of water. He managed to treat the patient, but then it took him 6 hours to row back because he was then rowing against the wind. So little interesting facts about Ailsa Crag or the Fairy Rock. Best of all was got to be the sunset over it. It was absolutely beautiful. So bit of history for you. Used for bird watchers. There's a big wet wildlife place down the road,